All right, shalom to the 12 tribes, all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'asham HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai. So wanted to do a quick lesson today. Wasn't even anything that was planned, but just something that the Most High put on my spirit to do, as I've been seeing a lot of brothers and sisters that need this type of edification through the scriptures, right? So the lesson is going to be titled, Save Yourself and your house first, help not a sinner or receive twice the evil. Right? So it shows there's four people on here right now. So I'm gonna start with asking you a question. Have you ever helped out somebody and then you received twice the evil for helping them out? Right? And I personally know, because I've done this before, and I knew, I kind of felt at the time I shouldn't do it, and I did it anyways. And the Most High showed me that my discernment was correct. Right? I think we've all been through that situation before. Shalom, sis. Elena C. Hope all is well with you, sis. So we're gonna go ahead and start in Philippians 2:12.
This is Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
So in the end, this is what it always comes down to, right? We all have to work out our own salvation. We all have to work out our own salvation. Now, of course, we have brothers and sisters and teachers and friends, real friends along the way that can help us out and things of that nature. And then you also have so-called friends or family that can weigh you down. But in the end, it all comes down to working out your own salvation, right? Working out your own salvation is number one. And think about it like I'm gonna be giving a few different symbolic references. I wouldn't say worldly um, examples, but in a sense, worldly examples, because a lot of people aren't spiritual and they need worldly examples in order to really see what the scriptures mean, right? So think about it this way: can you pour from an empty cup?
No.
No, right? So if you're not even working out your own salvation, if you're not doing the things that you need to get yourself in order, then there's no way you're going to be able to help other people. If you're not working out your own salvation, you can't waste your time or your energy or your spirit trying to save other people, right? So let's go to Sirach chapter 12 and starting on verse 1. So the sister said, yes, this is so amazing. You are doing this word. I just had this combo yesterday with the sister. Khan, all praise to the Most High. It's like in Philippians 2:2, it says that a lot of brothers and sisters are on one accord, right? And to be perfectly honest with you, I've been seeing many brothers, many sisters, many single sisters, many married brothers or single brothers that they've been doing this. They've been trying to help people that they shouldn't help, and it comes back to bite them in the ass, for lack of a better term, right?
Bit me in mind.
Go ahead, Adi.
This is Sirach the first, Salakia. This is Sirach the 12th chapter, verse 1. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it, so thou shalt be thanked for thy benefit.
So first, right off the bat, a lot of times when you help somebody worldly, they will not even thank you. And I know because this has happened to me more than one time. All right, go ahead.
Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find the recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High.
So this is just like the live we did probably about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, the most, where we talked about charity, and it said if you don't have charity, you are nothing, right? You could have prophecy and understanding and wisdom, but if you don't have charity, you're nothing. But you're supposed to know who you're giving charity to, and it says do good to the godly man, and if you do, you're going to get recompense, you're going to get paid back, if not from that person, then from the Most High. And we all know that the Most High can pay us back far more. How he pays us back will exceed what any man can pay us back, right? Go ahead.
There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms.
So no good can come to somebody who's always doing evil, who's always doing wickedness, who you're always catching in sin, who every time you see them, they're going off, but then they claim to be in the truth, right? Or they're posting stuff basically snitching on themselves, right?
Right.
So go ahead.
Give to the godly man and help not a sinner.
Give to the godly man and help not a sinner. So now I already had a couple people ever since that last post. I probably posted it maybe about 2 hours ago, right? I already had a few people reach out to me and they said, guess what? Everybody's a sinner. I haven't one sister said, how does she say it? I've never met anybody who is not a sinner.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm gonna give another real world example, even though of course the Bible is the real world, real knowledge. So this is a quote from Michael Jordan, right? And before I even read this, let me ask y'all: was Michael Jordan, is he known as a winner or as a loser? Somebody answer that in the comments. Was Michael Jordan known as a winner or a loser? Eloy Espinosa, this is good food for me during this time, right on time. Khan, all praise to the Most High. It's good food for many people, but we'll see who can actually eat it and digest it, right?
Wow.
And apply it. So this is a quote from Michael Jordan. It says, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life. But like the sister said, a winner, right? Most people will see Michael Jordan as a winner. Most people even consider him the best basketball player ever, right? Eloy said a loser first. But Khan, you got to take losses in order to come out better in the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the point that I'm making is if Michael Jordan said he lost almost 300 games, but he's still one of the most winningest players in history, right? We can apply the same concept to sinning, right? A winner, a sinner. When you have somebody, if you want to get a Sirach 1 and 21 up, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'll come back to that. If you have somebody who keeps Sabbath, you have somebody who honors their parents, who doesn't steal, who doesn't commit adultery, who doesn't fornicate, who doesn't do, they are really striving to keep the commandments. They're really striving to be set apart. They're striving to love their neighbor as themselves, love the Most High with all their heart, study every day, apply it, etc. And then they sin one time, right? That does not make them a sinner. Everybody falls, yes, but at the same time, a sinner is somebody who is sinning more often than keeping the commandments, right? And another example would be, I don't know if I haven't watched NBA games in a while, but they used to play 81 games a season, right? If you win 75 games, they're gonna be like, man, that team, that's a bunch of winners. They only lost 6 games. So it's the same thing in this truth, right? But go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 1, verse 21. The fear of Yahweh driveth away sins, and where it is present, it turneth away wrath.
So the fear of the Most High, the real fear of the Most High, drives away sins. You're gonna see people sinning and offending less and less, like the scriptures say, right? And that's gonna turn away wrath. They're not gonna be getting punished as much because what do you get punished for? For not keeping the commandments,
Mm-hmm.
right? The Most High didn't lie when he said you will be cursed if you don't keep the commandments. So this is how you know who is a sinner and who is a godly man, right? Just to clarify, because I already had people reaching out to me saying, we're all sinners. No, we are not all sinners. We all sin. None of us are perfect, but there are very few people in this world, right? As the wave is to the drop, like it says in Second Ezra's, that are sincerely trying to follow the Most High. So if you want to go back to chapter 12 and read 4 and 5, Babakasha.
This is Sirach 12, verse 4 through 5. Give to the godly man, and help not a sinner. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread, and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him.
So it says, give to someone that is lowly, humble, meek, right? But give not to the ungodly. When you see people living ungodly, it says, hold back your bread, right? And we know bread can be knowledge, bread can be money, bread can be food, right? It says, give it not unto him. It says, or else you're going to receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him. Because we have to understand, just like I mentioned earlier, if you get cursed, if you get punished for trying or for Salakia, for living against the word, for sinning against the Most High's word, then what does he have to do? He has to punish you,
Mhm.
right? Sometimes that punishment is okay, he's gonna curse your household. Now you can't you don't have money for food. Now you don't have money to pay the rent.
Mhm.
Now your car broke down, you can't even get to work.
So many different ways.
So there's an innumerable amount of ways that he can curse you. But here's where the part comes in where it can affect you. Let's say somebody is being wicked and you know it, and then you try to help them out of the curse that the Most High put on you. So then when you do that, it's like you're stepping in the way of his punishment, right? It's like me and the brother were talking about earlier. Let's say one of my children disobeys me, or I don't know, they would never do it, right? Let's say one of them calls me a cuss word and we're at the park, right? And let's say I'm out in the world. One of my children just calls me a effing, I don't know what, right? So now I'm getting on his case, say I spank him or something, and then someone gets in, someone that tries to step in between me and my child's punishment.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get upset, right? I'm gonna get mad. The brother was even saying, like, man, if you're in the world, you might even start fighting with them, right?
Mhm.
They might catch an ass whooping, even though it
Yeah, you
had
gonna
nothing to do with them,
yeah, you gonna beat them too. Like I'm gonna whoop you, and I'm gonna whoop you even more when we get home.
right? This has nothing to do with you. I'm over here trying to correct them. I'm trying to punish them in righteousness, because the Most High only punishes us in righteousness, right? So when you see somebody going through a curse, right, and you know they've been wicked, oh well, I know that they were breaking Sabbath, right? And I told them, or I know that they were hanging out with these wicked people, or they were smoking weed, or they were this, that, and the other, and you knew it, and then you try to help them out. Well, you're stepping in the way of the Most High's punishment. You're trying to stand in between them, right? You're trying to stop it. So what happens is, if you want to read verse 5 one more time.
Con. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread, and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him.
So now you're getting twice as much evil for trying to help someone wicked.
Mhm.
Oh, you were breaking Sabbath. Oh man. And your car broke down. Oh man, well let me lend you mine. And then they get pulled over and your car gets impounded. Or you can't pay your rent. Okay, yeah, I'll lend it. How much you need? 500. Okay, here you go. You can pay me back on Friday. And then they lose their job, and now they can't pay you back, right? There's so many different things I've seen personally because it's happened to me, but also so many things recently as well with brothers and with sisters, that this type of this verse has been playing out in real life, right? So what we have to do is learn how to focus on, like the title says, it says, save yourself and your house first, right? Not only is our own salvation our first priority, but if you're a man that has children or has a wife or has wives, that's who you need to focus your energy on and your spirit on and your time on, because in the end it's going to fall back on you, right? And with the sis, or actually we'll go into the brothers first. If you want to get First Timothy 5 and 8.
Con.
First Timothy 5 and 8. So Khan, the brother said, wow, wow, Khan. And this is something that, man,
Yeah,
when I first came into the truth, right, I had read through Sirach and I had read this chapter 12, and I never really processed it. You know what I mean?
I didn't process it until I actually experienced it.
Exactly. And me being raised in a Catholic household till I was 17, like I was raised around nothing but women, right? My tias, my mom, my grandma, they all raised me. So they would always say, "Oh, you have to help everybody." I was telling the brother earlier, "You have to help everyone." They'll be like, "Oh, that's your primo, that's your cousin. We have to help him." They'll be giving him money. And I'm over here like, "Man, he's going to go spend that on rock. Like he's going to go smoke that up." And you got to help him, right? There comes a point where there's a let's just put it this way, right? So I don't keep ranting. We got a few a good amount of verses to go over. To put it short, there's a huge difference, but there's a fine line between helping somebody and enabling somebody, right? You could think you're helping them, but in reality you're just enabling them to be wicked. So you have to pray for discernment to know the difference, right? Especially for brothers. Go ahead.
1 Timothy 5:8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
So if you don't provide for your own house, especially for those of your own house, you're denying the faith, right? You're worse than a non-believer. So as brothers, right? And I've talked to a good amount of brothers that they teach, whether it be through YouTube, through social media, out in the streets, or they even have little congregations and things of that nature. That's good, right? But at the same time, we have to understand, if you want to get chapter 3 and verse 5,
Come.
at the same time, we have to understand that first and foremost comes our household. 100%, right? Because we if you've been in this truth for any amount of time, I'm sure you've heard stories or you know of certain situations where there's brothers that teach others, they help others, but then their household is lacking, right? And that's completely backwards. Go ahead.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 5. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Yahweh?
So if you don't know how to rule your own house, then how can you take care of the church of the Most High? Right? How can you? Because the church, it's a lot of believers, right? There's a lot of people starting to come into the knowledge of the truth right now. A lot of them. But if you can't even rule your own house, say a child, a couple children, a wife, a couple wives, how are you going to take care of this whole church, this whole body? Right? It starts with your own household, one household at a time. So the first thing you have to get in order is your household. You want to get Acts 11 and 14.
Come.
And that goes back to 1 Corinthians 14 and 40, right? We're always bringing up this verse for everything in my household. Let all things be done decently and in order. All things have to be done decently and in order. So the order that you need to remember is your house, yourself. You got to get yourself in order, right? Before you can get your house in order. Because if your household sees you being wicked and sinning, are they gonna the number one thing they're gonna learn by example, right? So if they see you um doing things contrary to the scriptures, right? Not learning or not ruling your spirit, not studying, not teaching them, etc., then they're not gonna be in order. So it starts with yourself, then your house, then you can help the church if that be the Most High's calling for you. Go ahead.
What verse again? 40?
14, 11 and
14.
14.
Con, this is Acts 11 and 14. Who shall tell thee words whereby thou and all thy house shall be saved?
So the words of the Bible can save you and your whole house. Go ahead and read it again.
Who shall tell thee words whereby thou and all thy house shall be saved.
You and all your house can be saved. But guess what? You have to, as a man, you have to teach them and you have to live it out to be an example, right? You want to get chapter 16 and 31, Baba Shah.
Mm.
Just like it's like the order in First Corinthians 11 and 3, right? It says the Most High, then Yahushai, then the man, then the woman. When you look at it in that order, Yahushai is the man's example, right? And then the man is the example in the household to the women and to the children. Go ahead.
This is Acts, the 16th chapter, verse 31. And they said, believe on the Adawan Yahushua Hamashiach, and thou shalt be saved in thy house.
If you truly believe on Yahushai, you're gonna believe in his example. You're gonna believe in the things he did, and you're gonna do your best to walk in that example, right? Of course, we can't do it perfectly, but as a man of the household, in order to save yourself and your house, you have to live in that example so that you can be saved and your house, most high willing. Go ahead one more time, Mark.
And they said, believe on the Adawan Yahushua Hamashiach, and thou shalt be saved in thy house.
So if you truly believe on Yahushua and Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? What are you gonna do as a man? Go ahead and go to Genesis 18 and 19. CJ Terrell, shalom. Shalom, shalom. So as a man, what do you have to do if you truly believe on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? What are you gonna do as a man? Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 18, verse 19. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of Yahweh to do justice and judgment, that Yahweh may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him.
So the Most High said that he knew Abraham, and he knew he was gonna command his children and his household after Yahweh. Right? So as a man of the Most High, in order to save yourself and in order to save your house, like it said in Acts, the 11th chapter, the 16th chapter, there's also a couple other verses that say it. You have to command your household to keep the ways of Yahweh, not recommend it, not ask them to. You have to command them to. And now that doesn't mean you have to be what's that verse like a lion in your house?
Yeah, it says, be not a lion in thy household.
Khan. So
it's direct, yeah.
So that's not going to say you're gonna do this and that's it, right? No, you do it in a way that is going to try to fish them into the truth. Like Yahushua said to be a fisher of men, right? And I always tell people that when you really look at how a lot of people teach, they're not being fishers of men. Because if I took you out to go fishing, I wouldn't let you be yelling at the fish.
They're gonna run away.
Right? Nobody's gonna want to come and get hooked on and get reeled in. Right? So you have to do it the same way to your household, to your wives, to your children, because women are the weaker vessel. And as the weaker vessel, you're gonna have to talk to them in a way that is not not that it's not commanding, because it's like one of my daughters has asked, or both of them have asked me in the past, like, oh, what if you're they call her, because they're her stepmom. Sometimes they call her mom, but sometimes they call her Cherie, right? They're like, well, what if Cherie didn't want to be in the truth? And I'm like, y'all already know. And they're like, oh yeah, you kick her out, right? I was like, that's never gonna happen, most likely. Really. But yeah, of course, I'm not gonna let wickedness be in my house, right? So if she wants to be wicked, she's gonna have to get out of here. And the only cause for the only reason, the only way you can divorce someone is for fornication, according to Yahushua, right? But that doesn't mean you keep someone in your house if they're doing a bunch of wickedness, right? In order to, you never know. It's like Yahushua said, if you want to get Matthew 19:29, you never know. In order to save your children, you might have to get rid of your wicked wife, right? And in order to save somebody else, you might have to get rid of somebody else.
Matthew 19 and 29. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life.
So Yahushua said this, right? You may have to not you may. You're gonna have to forsake people in order to receive everlasting life.
It's not a choice.
It's not a choice, right? It says forsaking houses, brethren, sisters, father, mother, wife, children, or lands. But you're going to receive 100-fold if you do it sincerely,
Hmm.
right? And if you're doing it for the right reason, it says, for my name's sake, for the sake of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you're doing it for the right reason, then you're going to inherit everlasting life, right? But I'll be perfectly honest with you. I know some brothers in the past that have done it for the wrong reason. All right, I'm gonna get rid of this woman because I want this other one,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna get rid of this one because nah, she doesn't do things how I like it, and this other one's gonna do it how I like it. So let me get rid of this one.
Hmm.
That's not how it works. You have to do it for the sake of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Let's go to Joshua 24 and 15.
Mm.
24 and 15. Right? So, as a man of the Most High, in order to save yourself, you have to the best of your ability, be striving to save your household as well. Because, like we just read, the words of the Bible can save you and your house. Go ahead.
Joshua 24 and 15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Most High, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Most High Yahweh.
So, this is the spirit that you have to be in as a man. As for me and my house, we will serve Yahweh. Right now, whether that means it's just you by yourself, okay, this is still my house. Anybody who comes in here is keeping Sabbath. Oh, I'm gonna let somebody this person's trying to follow the truth now. Okay, I'm gonna help them out, give some alms, but guess what? They're keeping Sabbath too, right? Nobody in my household is gonna go against the Most High in my household because it's my house. So they're gonna command their household to follow the Most High, right? And it says, but as for me and my house, we will serve Yahweh. Again, it's not an option. It's not a okay if you want to, or maybe when they come around type of thing. That's not how it is. Because evil breeds evil. Wickedness breeds wickedness. You give them an inch of allow an inch of wickedness, and they're gonna take a mile.
Give them a rope, they want to be a cowboy.
Exactly. Right. You let them sit on the plane, and they're gonna want to be a pilot.
Exactly.
So that's the big problem with especially brothers right now, since we're talking about brothers, and we'll get to sisters in just a minute. Because man, I've heard of so many examples just in the past couple weeks of this happening to brothers and to sisters. Okay, as a man of the Most High, again, you have to, just like we read in Genesis, Abraham, just like we're reading with Joshua, you have to be in the spirit of me and my house will serve Yahweh, right? Oh, okay, you need help. You're trying to follow the truth. Okay, let me help you out. They come into your house. Oh, you're not following the truth. I can see with your fruits, with your actions. All right, you're out. That's how it is. That's how it has to be, right? And that's why it says in Sirach, what is it, 11? I think it's 11:25, where it says, not to bring every man into your house.
Yep. Bring not every man into your house, for the evil man hath many devices.
Many trains, right? Many ways. It's 11 and 29. It says, bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The enemy has many trains to get to you. A train is used for transportation, and people are the perfect vessel for evil spirits to transport themselves into your life, into your household, right? And yeah, I'm gonna jump down to 34 or 33. It says, take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual blot. So you have to be very careful when bringing someone into your house, right? It says a mischievous man, or it could be a mischievous woman, because they can bring upon you a perpetual blot, a never-ending blot, right? They can do something that just completely ruins you in the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And most high willing, you can get out of it, but who's to say you don't,
Bring it out.
right? Verse 34, it says, receive a stranger into thine house, and he will disturb thee and turn thee out of thine own. They're going to disturb you spiritually, right? That the mischievousness they bring is going to cause you to fall if you allow it to, right? So let's go back to let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 6.
Con.
Deuteronomy chapter 6. So it shows there's 10 people on here. Are there any brothers in here, married brothers in here right now? Go ahead,
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 1.
or
Now,
7, Salakia.
Salakia, verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them, Salakia, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
So it is a law, and there's multiple verses that tell you this, that you have to teach the scriptures, the laws of the Most High to your children, right? It says, when you sit down, you can sit down and study. When thou walkest by the way, say you walk by their room and you see them doing something they're not supposed to. Hey, what are you doing? It's Sabbath. Don't be jumping on your bed, right? When you liest down, when you rise up, you have to be teaching your children the ways of the Most High. Go ahead.
And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
And you're supposed to bind them for a sign upon your hand, meaning, no, you don't just teach it to them. You do it with your hands, and that is a sign, right? What is a sign used for? It's to give directions.
Mm-hmm.
So by doing these things, not only teaching your children, right? And this is for single sisters as well, right? Because I know there's single mothers out there, a lot of single mothers that reach out, and the same thing, you have to be teaching. If there is not a man in your life, right? First and foremost, I would say get baptized so that you can be married again, right? Because as it says in 2 Corinthians 5:17, all things can become new. You can become a new creature through the water baptism for remission of sins, Acts 2:38.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is no man in the picture, then guess what? I know it's harder for you to play the man and woman's role, but it's your job as well to teach your children the ways of the Most High, and to bind them for a sign upon thine hand, meaning you do them. You're giving your children directions by, oh, they see you praying. Oh, they see you cleaning. If you're as a woman, they see you doing all the duties as a woman. It's a sign to them, and it gives them directions, just like a sign on the highway gives you directions, right? And they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. They're going to show you the way to walk. Just like on a horse, they have the frontlets on the side of their eyes. So all they can do is look forward.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates.
And this is another thing that you can do, especially if you have children. Have verses. We have the Adawan Palau, the Lord's or Yahweh's prayer, right, around the house in different areas. We have a few verses on canvases and things of that nature, right? To have them on around your house so they can be reading them from time to time. Let's go to Deuteronomy 11:19 real quick. Deuteronomy 11:19.
Deuteronomy 11:19. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them, when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest, Salaki, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
So it must be very important to the Most High to keep this command. If he had Moses write it more than one time, you have to teach your children and diligently, right? You have to teach them, speak of them. What is it talking about? The words of the Most High, right? So one way that you teach your children, or let's go to Proverbs 22:6. before we go to that. Proverbs 22 and 6. Right? And like I said, this can go for either men or for women. Right? Teaching your children is your job as a man or a woman of the Most High.
Proverbs 22 and 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
So if you're training up your child in the way of the Most High, 9 times out of 10, he's not going to depart from it. They're going to get older and they're going to learn how to keep the ways of the Most High and make it to the kingdom, Most High willing. But if you choose not to teach it to them, you choose wickedness, right? And another thing is you choose by you not choosing to teach them the word of the Most High, whether you realize it or not, you are choosing to teach them wickedness. Because if you're not living it out, you're not binding it upon your hands for a sign, like it said in Deuteronomy, then you are showing them how to be wicked, right? If you want to go to 25 and 28, this is one, I'll give you an example, right?
This is Proverbs 25 and 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
So this is just one simple example, right? When you don't know how to rule your own spirit and you get all angry and you start going crazy and yelling and screaming, or for women, right? You start getting super emotional and it's not even that big of a deal, right? You go crazy and you're hysterical, crying and yelling. And what is that teaching your children? That is teaching them
double-mindedness,
right? If you claim to be in the truth, then that's teaching them, of course, double-mindedness, right? But it's also teaching them that it's okay to behave or to conduct yourself in that manner. So later on, when you see that they're acting the same way and that they're doing the same thing, you have nobody to blame except yourself, right? And that's why the scripture, or actually, if you want to get Ezekiel 16 and 44, right? And then I'll keep going because we're going into the parents more. But man, this is a huge issue as well. What with chapter? 16 verse 44. This is a huge issue. A lot of single mothers reach out to me, probably more than any other type of, or just as much as any other type of brother or sister in the truth. And that's a huge problem, right? We have to lead by example.
This is Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 44. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter.
As is the mother, so is the daughter. And this is why I say all the time, if you're trying to live in the truth and you have a worldly, wicked, vain mother, you better stay away from her like she's the damn plague.
Like she's the devil. Shit.
Like she's because she is a devil. She is a deceiver.
She devil.
Right? Good is set against evil and the sinner against the godly. So what it says in Sirach 33. So you have to understand that as is the mother, so is the daughter. Right? And the sister said, only the Most High can relieve us, women of such a spirit.
That's real.
Right? Pray through prayer and fasting. And guess what? This is what sisters, brothers as well, right? But staying on this topic, this is what sisters do not realize. A lot of sisters will say, I have this problem. I have a spirit of, just give an example, pride. Or I have a spirit of whatever the case may be. We use pride as an example, right? Because pride is the beginning of all sin.
Pride is the beginning of all sin. That's the number one killer, if you ask me, out of everything.
So we use that as a perfect example, right? A lot of sisters will reach out and say, I have a spirit of pride on me. And I'll tell them, okay, you need to pray and fast. Okay, how long should I fast for? How much should I pray? Whatever the case may be. But a lot of people think that fasting is just, okay, I'm not going to eat, or I'm not going to eat or drink. That's not just what it is. If you have somebody around you, and going off of Ezekiel 16 and 44, it says, as is the mother, so is the daughter. If your mother is loud and rude and manly, and she cuts you off every time you talk, and she's got a proud, prideful spirit, and you're always around her, that's who you need to fast from in order to get the spirit on you. Or to get the spirit off of you, Salakia. To get the Holy Spirit on you,
Yeah.
right? Because if she is wicked, and as is the mother, so is the daughter, and then you're getting the advice from her all the time, or you're just around her all the time, right? That spirit is just gonna stay on you, right? And that goes back to not helping a sinner as well, because a lot of time, whether it be your mother, whether it be your father, whether it be a so-called friend, oh well, I've known him for so many years and blah blah blah. But it's like I say all the time, if your relationship was built off of sin or off of wickedness, how can you rectify that relationship? You can't, because the whole foundation of the relationship was built off of wickedness and sin. That's like, oh, hey, you're looking to build a house. Well, check it out. I got this foundation, but it's rotten. You want to build your house on it? Of course not. You gotta tear it down, and you gotta make a whole new foundation, or you're gonna go somewhere else, right? Where you could build a new foundation. But kind of getting off topic, but just because there's a lot of sisters and brothers as well that this happens to. And you have to be able to rule your own spirit. And many times, ruling your own spirit comes down to just staying away from people that are going to break down your walls, right? And get a wicked spirit on you. So if you want to go to Revelation 22 and 11, Revelation 22 and 11. But yeah, that's true what the sister said. Only the Most High can relieve us women of such a spirit.
Story.
Men as well, right? Men as well. Only the Most High can do that.
Revelation 22 and 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still.
You want to get Ezekiel 3 and 27.
Uh,
He that is unjust, let him be unjust. He which is filthy, let him be filthy. He that's righteous, let him be righteous. He that's holy, let him be holy. Right? In other words, the Most High has made certain people to be something. And when he shows you over and over and over and over again that this person doesn't want to take heed to the truth, then it's for a reason that they don't want to take heed to the truth. So now what are you going to do? You're going to continue to try to help a sinner and receive twice the evil? Or are you going to work out your own salvation and sincerely try to save your house, yourself, your children, your marriage, etc.? Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 27. But when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh, he that heareth, let him hear, and he that forbeareth, let him forbear, for they are a rebellious house.
So 3 different points I want to touch on here, right? It says, when the Most High will open your mouth, right? A lot of people think that God is opening them. Oh, God told me to tell you, blah, blah, blah. But when the Most High opens your mouth, this is what he says is going to happen. It says, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh. Meaning, look, right here in the Bible, Yahweh said this. It's not, well, God told me that you should, blah, 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 and you're not even speaking from his own word, right? That's the first thing. The second thing, he that heareth, let him hear. He that forbeareth, let him forbear. You got to understand that a hearing ear and a seeing eye are both from the Most High.
Yes, indeed.
They're both, so we cannot, all we're commanded to do is spread the truth, right? Especially as men. Now, can me or the brother of y'all give somebody a spiritually hearing ear?
Nope.
Of course not. We are not the Most High. We are not all powerful.
They ain't got no gifts like that.
We cannot, we do not have the capability or the spiritual gift to do that, right? Only the Most High can do that. So he that forbears, let him forbear. Now that may be painful at first, man. I care more about this person's soul than they do.
It be like that.
It's just like that, right?
It be like that every time. Yep.
And that's something that you have to learn through. It's not for everybody. You should just be at on the one hand, you have it like, man, I really wanted to help this person out, be used as a vessel to maybe help to win over a soul for the kingdom. But then on the other hand, it's like, man, there is really many called but few chosen, and I'm just glad I even have a chance at this.
Oh, praise it.
Khan, all praise, call halal Yahweh, right? Because if you're on here right now, even listening to this, chances are you have a chance at the kingdom because you're at least trying to save yourself.
Hmm.
You're trying to help your house. You're trying to get wisdom, right? So go ahead and read one more time, Mark.
But when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh, He that heareth, let him hear, and he that forbeareth, let him forbear, for they are a rebellious house.
We cannot make somebody stop being rebellious. We cannot stop making somebody be rebellious. If the Most High made somebody rebellious, then guess what? They're gonna be rebellious. Matter of fact, if you can get, I think it's Ecclesiastes 1:15.
Hmm.
You cannot stop somebody. You cannot make straight what the Most High made crooked.
Ah, yep. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered.
Anybody that the Most High made crooked that are not on the straight gate, right? The narrow path that leads to the kingdom. You cannot make the what is crooked straight. If I went outside and we got those branches we cut the other day,
Yep,
can we straighten them out?
I will. Can't do that.
We can't. You cannot straighten out what the Most High made crooked. You want to read 7? Let me see. 7 and 13. Ecclesiastes 7 and 13.
Come. Consider the work of Yahweh, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked?
Who can make something straight which he has made crooked? Nobody. You can't go against the will of the Most High. Just like when we were talking about helping a sinner. If the Most High's will is, oh, they sinned, they did this, now I'm going to punish them, and you're going to come over here, nah, I got you. Here you go. Here's some money on your rent. You're not going to get punished like that. The Most High is going to punish them even worse, or he's going to make sure they receive that punishment, and you're going to get part of it too now.
Guaranteed you're gonna get a piece of it.
Exactly. You're because that's like, man, you know how mad I'm. And one example, um, a personal example, right? Before we got this place that I was living at, or that we're living at right now, we had to either sign another lease, right? It was gonna take. They told us it was gonna take a week for like all the paperwork to process the what is it called? Where they come in the appraisal on the house, the land survey. They were like, yeah, we'll be done in a week, and we're like, man, I'm not about to sign another 6 month or a year lease, right? But but right before, and they say it's gonna take a week to 2 weeks. So long story short, my mom was like, "Oh, you could come stay with us. It's only gonna be a week or two." And she is not even trying to be in the truth. So that's the last thing we wanted to do. But it was like it's either that or waste thousands of dollars, right? So we're like, okay, let's do it. It's a small sacrifice to make, right? I was thinking about Psalm 65:5. By terrible things in righteousness, for the Most High answer you sometimes. Long story short, we were over there. It ended up being like 3 weeks. Man, probably the most patience trying 3 weeks of my life.
Feel like it's forever.
Right. So long story short, I was trying to punish my son one time. He was misbehaving, and she comes over here. She comes over and she's like, oh no, pobrecito mijo, like, oh, poor baby. Don't punish him, or just let him here. You want some candy? And I know what, you know how mad a parent gets when somebody tries to get, when it's they're deserving, right? The child is deserving of some type of punishment,
Yep.
some type of chastisement, because they were misbehaving, they were doing what they're not supposed to, and then somebody else comes and tries to get them out of it or tries to baby them. So now imagine how the Most High feels when we do that, whether it's purposely or inadvertently in one way or another, we're going to be affected by it. And it's going to be negative, right? So going back to that, you want to read it one more time, Mark?
Con. Consider the work of Yahweh, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked?
Somebody's walking the crooked path and you've been trying to get them in the truth and you're trying to help them out. You're trying to save them, but they're just walking that crooked path. And think about it. Crooked, let's say you have a straight path, right? A straight path. If you're walking crooked, you're going to walk off the path. Then you might come back, you take a step or two on it. And that's like, oh yeah, look, the sister took a picture with the dress. And then she walks back crooked. Yep. Out in the world. Yep. And then, oh, the sister said, all praise to the Most High. She's back on the path. Oh, no, she's back off. Right? Oh, the brother, oh, look, the brother said shalom to me. Oh, he got fringes on. And then he's back off the path. He's smoking weed. And they just keep walking off the path over and over. And the Most High is trying to show you, look, they're walking crooked. Stop trying to make them straight. Let the wicked be wicked.
Learn my lesson with that.
Same here. Let the unjust be unjust. Let the filthy be filthy. How many times are you going to empty your cup in order to try and fill them up, and they're just pouring it out, and now you got nothing left? Or you got barely anything left to drink, right? So let's go to 2 Timothy 3:13. Authorized agent. So true. This message is so good. All praise to the Most High. Khan, all praise to the Most High. But what kind of agent are you? I hope you're not one of Satan's agents. Right? I know of I know with facts, brothers, that have proven certain people so-called in the truth are agents. And Khan, the sister said, only Yahweh can do so. Only the Most High can make straight what he has made crooked.
2 Timothy 3:13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived.
In these days, when you read this chapter, it's talking about the days we're in. Evil men and seducers are going to get worse and worse and worse. Women as well. Worse and worse and worse and worse. And you're over here trying to make them better and better and better. Right? You're trying to save them and you're trying to pour into them and you're trying. And me and this brother, he's laughing because we both been through this. Yeah. Right? We both been through this. I've experienced this multiple times. So I've learned my lesson the hard way. This brother has, many people have, because like we just read earlier in Ezekiel 3:27, we're hard-headed. The Most High has to teach us that hard way, right? So evil men are going to wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. So when you see somebody, you're over here trying to help them out, and then they're wicked again. And then it looks like they might start getting back into the truth. It looks like they may be returning to the Most High. But then, nope, look, oh, now they're going off again.
Yeah, right back out.
Oh, now they're going off again. Oh, no, look again. Oh, no, they say they're in the, oh, no, look, the Most High just revealed something. Yeah, they're going off.
Revealed a whole bunch. But lack of discernment is going to kill you every time.
So you have to realize and understand the days that we're living in. You have to let the filthy be filthy, right? Let the righteous be righteous. If they want to follow the word, all right, all praise to the Most High. If they don't, all right, all praise to the Most High. It's his will. You're not going to go against his will, right? Oh, Khan. It's the brother Eloy. Okay, Khan.
All praises.
So let's go to Matthew 5:6.
Khan.
Matthew 5:6. So evil men, evil women are getting worse and worse in these last days. And we're seeing it more and more. If you got spiritual eyes to see, you're seeing it more and more. Like I said, not too long ago, maybe a week ago, the Most High will reveal things to you if you're sincerely trying to follow him.
And you're not going to forget what he revealed too.
Khan, you're not going to. He won't let you forget it.
I guarantee you that. So if you ever sit there and wonder, was it from the Most High? What was I supposed to remember? It's not from the Most High, because you're going to remember everything he showed you.
He's going to make you remember.
Guaranteed. Matthew 5:6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled.
If you're hungry and you're thirsty and you have food and water in your home, what are you gonna do?
You gonna utilize it,
You're gonna
consume it.
you're gonna eat, you're gonna drink, right? There's people that claim to be hungry for righteousness, that claim to be thirsty for the Most High and His Spirit and His Word, but in the end, only those that are filled with it are the ones that truly are hungering and thirsting for righteousness. And what does it mean to be filled with righteousness? It's like the scriptures say that a man that's actually walking in the spirit of the Most High, you're going to be filled with the law.
I actually got a precept for that
Go
too.
ahead, Ad.
Matthew the 7th chapter, verse 19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Khan. So when you eat of righteousness, right, and you be filled with it, it's just like the plants that I have here, and I'm gonna post up before a feast of first fruits. I'm gonna post up so y'all can see some of them, right? How they're growing. It's a very good husbandry is a good representation or a good teacher of people and of the spirit and of the truth in general,
Mhm.
right? When you give them water and you give them fertilizer, compost, and all these other things, they're going to bear fruit, right? But like the precept you just brought out in Matthew 7, you want to read one more time?
Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
And then go ahead and next verse.
Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them.
So if you don't bring forth good fruits, it's because you are not being fed and watered correctly, right? So you can't bring forth any fruits because you don't have the right stuff going in to bring the right stuff coming out. And that's why Yahushua says that by their fruits you will know the tree, and the tree being people, right? You know them not by their words. Anybody could sound good.
Man, talk a sweet game.
Uh-huh. Anybody can talk good.
Be not deceived by vain murmuring and vain words.
Let's go to Job 17 and 9.
Come.
Job 17 and 9. So how can you tell if somebody is truly in the spirit? Man, should I help them? Should I not help them? Of course, are they striving to keep the laws, right? And of course, first and foremost, you got to get yourself in order. You got to have your house in order. Then you can move on to trying to help other brothers and sisters if if it's the Most High's will for you to do so, and if only if you're able, you have the ability to do that, right? Well, go ahead.
This is Job chapter 17, verse 9. The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger.
So those that are living righteously, truly, are gonna hold on their way, meaning they're gonna keep continuing down that straight gate, down that narrow path. And he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. When you see people stronger and stronger in the spirit, right? The next time you talk to a brother and he has more wisdom, he has his house is more in order. Next time you talk to a sister and she's leveling up. Oh yeah, I learned how to cook and I learned how to, and look, I got fringes on my clothes now. I know how to sew now, and now this and that. And you can tell when people are getting stronger in the spirit, right? But then there's people that are going the other way. You want to go to Psalm 81 and 12.
Ah, Psalm 81. No, I got the wrong numbers.
Con.
Psalm 81 and 12. So I gave them up unto their own hearts' lust, and they walked in their own counsels.
So you have two examples. You have one person that's living righteously and they're going to get stronger and stronger, right? Then you have, on the other hand, you have people that the Most High just gives up unto their own heart's lusts. They're so stiff-necked and hard-headed, they don't want to follow the Most High, so he just gives them up to their own lusts. You know what? You want that so bad? You want to go against my word for that? or for that person or for that situation
Okay.
or for that environment or for that habit or for that wickedness or lasciviousness or fornication or whatever it may be, then he'll just give you up to it at one point.
Ooh, it's dangerous.
And they walked in their own counsels. And they're going to, okay, well, I know the word says that, but I feel like this. I think I can this. And okay, all right, then do that.
There is a way to a man which seemeth right, but lead unto death.
Uh, leads to death. So we all have to be very, very vigilant to see these things, not only in ourselves, but in other people. Of course, in ourselves first, right? Looking in the mirror, self examining comes first.
Mm-hmm.
Then looking at your household. Okay, you know what? This isn't correct. This is out of order according to the scriptures. We got to correct this. Then again, like I said, if it be the Most High's will to help others as well, then okay, help them if they are not a sinner, or else you could receive twice the evil.
You will receive
You
twice the
will,
evil.
100%, you will receive twice the evil.
Guaranteed.
So if you want to go to First Peter 3 and 7, right? We're gonna get a couple more scriptures, and then I'll close it out. Right? Short but to the point.
1 Peter 3:7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
So as a man, you have to be dwelling with your wives according to this. According to what? Knowledge. Dwell with them according to knowledge. Live with them according to knowledge. You have to give honor or respect unto the wife as the weaker vessel. You have to know she is the weaker vessel. Certain things, guess what? She's going to get emotional about. Now, does that mean you curse her out and this, that, and no? You know she's the weaker vessel. Okay, look, what you did here was out of order. We're going to go over these scriptures and we're going to correct it, right? But if you're not doing that, then you're enabling her to tear down your household, like it says in Proverbs. A wicked woman will pull down her house with her hands. And but guess what? That falls back on you as the man because you're supposed to be checking it and correcting it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it says, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. So if y'all aren't trying to be heirs together of the kingdom, then your prayers are going to be hindered. Oh yeah, well she's going off, but I'm in the truth. I'm walking as good as I can in the truth. Well, guess what? You think the Most High is going to hear your prayers when she's doing all this wickedness in your house and you're allowing it?
And you're supposed to be the head leading.
Exactly. And you're supposed to be the representative of his son in the household, right? So how is that going to look? You think your house shy would just sit around and just let a woman be wicked and not do anything about it, say anything about it? Of course not. So as the man, you have to be the representative of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And that's how you save your house. And that's how you save yourself too, because you're going to be held accountable for your actions or lack of actions in your household. It's just like if you were the example I always give. Let's say the Most High is the owner of the store, Yahweh Shai is the manager of the store, and then the husband is the shift manager, and the employee is the woman, right? The wife. You think they're not going to fire the shift manager if he's letting all the people under him smoke weed and come on the job?
You gonna lose that quick.
Oh, well, I knew, but I mean, I didn't want to say anything because,
Oh, okay, okay.
all right, out, you're done, right? And it's the same thing with us as men in the truth, right? And with children as well, the same thing. If you want to get Second Timothy 3 and 15, Baruch Shah.
Uh,
2 Timothy 3 and 15. Right? And this is something like man, it's so common right now. It's like I was talking to this brother, y'all, I was talking to another brother, Daniel Allah, I was talking to another brother. Like there's so many examples, real life examples of this happening right now. And it's understandable because everybody's being tried at this time. The further we get into Jacob's trouble, like the scriptures say, Satan knows he has a short time. So he's really starting to try people
He,
more and more.
he going crazy right now.
Khan, go ahead.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 15. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Hamashiach Yahushua.
So this says that they had known the scriptures, the holy scriptures, right, which make you wise to salvation since they were children. And that's what we're shooting for. What I've talked about many times, it talks about being the repairer of the breach. That's what we're trying to do. If you have children, you have to repair that breach of, okay, we grew up without the Most High. We grew up breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, but my children are not going to now. But they're going to if they see you going against the word.
Mm-hmm.
You could be like, yeah, do this. The Bible says this. The Bible says that. And then you allow them to be wicked. Or then they see you doing things contrary to the word. That's what they're going to learn. They're visual learners. But the point is, like it says here, the scriptures can make you wise unto salvation, even for children. You want to go to Deuteronomy 4 and 9. We'll get like maybe a handful of scriptures left, and then we'll go ahead and close it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 9. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons.
So it says, take heed to yourself and keep your soul diligently. That's to save yourself, right? Then it says, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and you depart from the Most High. So think about it, right? Real quick, self-examining moment. Think about all the things the Most High has shown you, no matter how long you've been in the truth. Maybe you've been in the truth a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's had those moments where it was like, damn, that was the Most High.
You just know it was.
He just showed me that. You wake up from a dream and you're like, man, you're in fear of the Most High. You barely, oh man, that was the Most High.
Man.
Or he reveals something to you and you're like, man, that he showed me that. Right? It says, take heed to yourself, keep your soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which your eyes have seen. And this is the problem, right? People, man, this is crazy, bro. So many people in the truth. It says, lest thou forget the things which your eyes have seen. How many people will never forget the things that you did against them when you weren't in the truth? But, right, they'll never let it go. They'll never forget it. But they're quick to forget all the times that the Most High gave them grace and mercy.
Mm-hmm.
All the times he revealed something to them. All the times he protected them or kept them from falling out the truth.
I think that's a bad trait that humans have nowadays. It's the same thing with people in the world. You know, you do something good for somebody, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna forget what you did for them.
Calm.
So I mean, how much more for the Most High?
Calm. And it's like this, right? I was actually gonna make a video the other day, but I was too busy at work because I was thinking about it. My truck, the black truck,
Mm-hmm.
we've had it for I don't know how many years. It's a 2000, I think it's a 2002, right? There's only one time that it messed up and I had to get it, I had to fix it, right? All the other times it's been so reliable, right? Or no, you know what? Two times it left me stranded. But I fixed it, right? Did what I had to do, maintenance, some work on it. All the other times it's been reliable. So now am I gonna be like, man, this damn truck it messed up on me though that last year and then a couple years? No, I'm gonna be like, man, I've got a lot. This truck has helped me make a lot of money for my family, provide for my household, right? That's how I'm gonna look at it. So people in the world, it's crazy that you say that because they're quick to be like, yeah, well, remember that one time you did this, and then that other time you did this, and you helped them 100 times.
Mm-hmm. I forgot all about it. Like, okay.
And and what did Yahushua say? He said, if you want to be forgiven, you got to forgive men, right? If you forgive men their trespasses, then the Most High will forgive you of yours. But if you don't, then he's not going to forget yours either. And when you truly forgive somebody, like it says in Ezekiel, the 18th chapter, you're not going to even bring it up anymore because you forgave it and you forgot about it. But I'll digress on that, right?
Right.
So Deuteronomy, you want to read 4 and 9 one more time?
Con. Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons.
So it says, take heed to yourself. In other words, work out your own salvation. Keep your soul diligently by studying and applying every day, by being set apart from wickedness, by ruling your spirit, right? Then it says, teach them to your sons and your sons' sons. Teaching your household is something you have to do if you have children. Let's go to 1 Samuel 1 and 28. 1 Samuel 1 and 28. So whether you're a single mother or even a single, I know a brother that's a single father in this thing, right? And he has a son. So whether you're a single mother, single father, or you're a married couple, right, in a household, you have to live your life seeing it as, okay, my child in a sense is dedicated to the Most High. I was wicked all my life, so now I'm going to strive to have my child in order to the best of my ability according to the scriptures. And that's the least that we can do if, for the Most High bringing us into the truth and giving us children. Right? Go ahead.
1 Samuel 1 and 28. Therefore also I have lent him to Yahweh as long as he liveth. He shall be lent to Yahweh. And he worshipped Yahweh there.
So this is when Hannah had Samuel, right? And what did she do? She basically presented him or dedicated him, or as it says here, lent him to Yahweh, right? So as a single mother, especially, that's what you have to do with your child, right? I've told many people, I've had people ask me about making a promise to the Most High, right? And I tell them, look, that can be a good thing,
or a bad one,
or it can be a very bad thing, right? The scriptures talk about making vows to the Most High. That's how I personally quit smoking weed. I made a vow to the Most High I wasn't going to smoke no more. Then I tried to make a loophole. I hit a vape pen one time afterwards, and man, he made me feel so bad. I threw up. We talked about it, right? How you throw up smoke. I took too big of a hit. I got so high. I was like, man, I do not want to. I was asking the Most High to take my high away from me.
I made a vow, and it's crazy you said that. That's how I started smoking too. I made me a vow, and then he when you make that vow, and then you know the temptation right in front of you, he gonna put it on your mind. That's his thing. Most High gonna play with your mind. You feel me? So when you make that vow, he gonna put it on your mind if you mess up or if you're getting close to messing up. So you know, like, okay, hey, be careful. Like, make your choice.
He's gonna allow you to see your judgment before it happens a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
Right? That's a scary thing if you truly fear the Most High.
It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High.
God. So, like Hannah did, it said, if you read one more time up.
Therefore also I have lent him to Yahweh as long as he liveth. He shall be lent to Yahweh, and he worshipped Yahweh there.
So now I'm not telling nobody to make a vow to the Most High, because like I was saying, I've told brothers and sisters have asked me about it, and I tell them, look, if you make a vow to the Most High, that's it can be a very good and fruitful thing. That's how I quit smoking cold turkey, right? After smoking for like 15 years of my life. I don't think I would have took it as serious. I wouldn't have took it that serious if I wouldn't have made that vow. But then on the other hand, I know people that have made vows to the Most High, and guess what? They broke it, and some of them aren't in the truth no more. They're not even trying to follow the word no more. So it's a very dangerous thing, right? But Hannah, she dedicated or lent the Samuel to the Most High, and guess what? It said he worshipped Yahweh. 2 and 26.
Con. 1 Samuel 2 and 26. And the child Samuel grew on and was in favor both with Yahweh and also with men.
So after Hannah basically dedicated or vowed Samuel to the Most High, it said that he was worshiping Yahweh, and then it said that he grew up and he got favor from Yahweh, right? And also with men, because that's another thing, right? I had somebody ask me and my rib, okay, well, it's not okay to help a sinner. Well, is it okay to take help from a sinner? Well, the Most High is the one who puts the spirit on people to do something, right? If you want to get Proverbs 21:1 real quick.
I'm glad you said that though.
So here's the thing. I've had times where the Most High was like somebody who not even in the truth, and they see something that either I've done or just see my household in general, and they're like, you know what? I just God put it on my spirit to do this. Who are we to stop what the Most High ordains? Right?
Man, you don't stop nothing.
Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will.
The Most High can change anybody's heart, anybody's mind, anybody's spirit to do whatever he wants to do. So again, who are we to stand in his way? Right? Who are we to stop him? Who can, like we read in Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and chapter 7, it says, who can make straight what the Most High has made crooked? Maybe someone's crooked their whole life, and then the Most High wants to bless you, and guess what? Sometimes he puts the spirit on people to bless you, like we just read in 1 Samuel 2:26. It says Samuel grew on and he got favor from Yahweh and also with men. Right? If you want to read it one more time out.
Time. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will.
So just like the Most High, oh, somebody's in the world and he just changes their heart, and now they want to follow him, and that's all they want to do.
That happened to me.
It's happened to him. That's happened to me. That's happened to many, many, many people. To everybody who's now sincerely living in the truth, right? So just like that, he can do it to anybody to display favor to his chosen as well. And one example, because I had seen a brother it was probably maybe more than a year for sure, maybe closer to 2 years back, and he said, oh, nobody that's not an Israelite, they can't even speak this truth. They can't even say nothing, like nothing truthful, right? But if you go into the book of Daniel, and Nebuchadnezzar, who was the king of Babylon, after the Most High humbled him, what did he say? He told everybody, oh, y'all need to worship Daniel's God. He's the only real God.
Same thing in the book of Esther.
Same thing in Esther. There's so many examples, right? The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, and as rivers of water, he can turn it whichever way pleases him, right? Sister Elena said, this word is beyond amazing. Thank you so much, Abba, for using this man for your works. Thank you, brothers, for your obedience, your courage, and time.
Call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Time. All praises to the Most High. Shalom, Drea, shalom, shalom, lahama, sis. So we're gonna get two more verses and then we're gonna close it out. So let's go to what was it? I think it's Luke 12:48. Let me see. This is Luke 12:48. Two more verses. 12. Actually, we'll start on 47.
This is Luke chapter 12, verse 47.
So let me ask you this first, Doc. Is it the Most High's will for his people to strive to save themselves?
Yeah, it is actually. You're supposed to work out your own salvation, but as far as saving yourself in the matter of what's the word I'm looking for?
On your own accord, or on your own will?
On your own will, no, because his will gonna be done no matter what.
Exactly. So those who sincerely want to make it to the kingdom, they're gonna strive to save themselves by studying and these things. But we all know that salvation is only of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Exactly.
So is it also the Most High's will to strive to help save your family?
Absolutely.
Is it also the Most High's will to not help a sinner?
Absolutely.
Khan, okay, go ahead.
It was written. This is Luke, the 12th chapter, verse 47. And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes.
So if you are a servant or striving to be a servant of the Most High, you know his will is to strive to save yourself in the sense of studying and applying. You know that it is the Most High's will to strive to save your house in the sense of teaching them and holding them accountable according to the word. Not saying you're going to save them because you're so righteous and this, that, and the other. No, but you're going to do everything the book says to do for yourself and towards your household, to your children, your wives, etc. And you're not going to help a sinner, or else you're going to be beaten with many stripes, many punishments, many curses, which will fall upon you and your household and your children. Because like it says in Proverbs 3:33, the curse of Yahweh is in the house of the wicked. The house of the wicked. Go ahead.
But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of whom they will ask the more.
So he that didn't know, but still does things that are worthy of punishment, they're gonna get punished, but not as bad. Because the Most High is a just God, right? He is a just power. So let's say you have you eat something and you didn't know there was pork in it, and then later on you're like, oh man, I ate something. Me and the brother Jomar talked about this many times. Man, you feel so bad afterwards. You're like, man, I didn't even know. I should have been more vigilant. But then you have somebody who's just like, oh, I don't care. It's pepperoni pizza. That looks good. I'm gonna eat that right now.
Tripping.
Right? So who's gonna get in according to the Most High's just will? Of course, you both broke the law. You both are gonna be punished. But one, he is a righteous God. Righteous punishment will be dealt. Right? It says, for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required. In other words, if you got one child, so there's people out here that want children and they can't have no children. So you have one child, that's much more than somebody else. There's people out here that have one child and now they can't have no more children. And you got 4 children, 5 children. Well, much is given to you now, much more is required. You got brothers out here that want to be married, but they're not married yet. And you have a wife, so now much was given to you, much is required. You have brothers out here that have multiple wives, much was given, much more is required. You got to provide for them spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, all these different ways.
And they got to be equal.
And you can't be showing favor, right? But besides the point, it says, for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. Just like the example I gave. If you're working at Walmart, if you're just a regular employee, well, you don't got to worry about what everybody else is doing, in the sense of, I saw this person doing this and you didn't correct them. Well, I'm not the manager. I don't got to. Right? So if you have a whole household under you, if you're a brother that teaches a lot of people, say you're the teacher of a camp or congregation or whatever the case may be, you got to understand much more was given to you. So you got to make sure that yourself and your house first are in order. And you always got to remember not to help a sinner, or you and your house can be punished.
Will be.
So let's go to Hebrews 11:7 and we'll finish with that. Hebrews 11:7. It's one of my favorite verses as well.
One of my favorite books. Hebrews 11:7. By faith, Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith.
So a lot going on in this verse, right? I love verses like this where it's one verse, but man, there's so many different points to be seen or to be discerned from it. It says, by faith, Noah being warned of the Most High of things not as yet seen, right? Because it's like it says, what do you have to hope for if you can already see it,
True story.
right? What do you don't have to hope for nothing if you see your check in front of you, you're not gonna be like, oh, I hope I can pay my bills, and you see your check in front of you and it's enough money to pay your bills. So by faith, Noah was warned of the Most High of things not seen yet, moved with fear. See, if you really believe the Bible, you're gonna move with fear. Oh, dang, the Bible says Jacob's trouble's coming. That it doesn't put fear in you in the sense of, oh man, this could happen to me and this and that. No, you should be in fear of the Most High. Like, man, I really believe his word is gonna be true. I need to get right with the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
So what did Noah do? He had faith, he moved with fear, he prepared an ark to the saving of his house. Now, first and foremost, that's spiritually, right? Preparing an ark to the saving of your house, something that is going to protect you in the flood. When you look at it spiritually, all the plagues that are coming, that's the flood, right? And what is the number one thing that can, the only thing that can truly protect you is the Most High.
Yep. I think it says the horse is prepared for the day of battle, but ultimate safety is of the Most High.
But safety is of Yahweh, right? So getting right with him according to the word. But guess what? Just like it says Noah moved with fear, in order to truly follow the word and prepare an ark, you have to move. You have to do things. It's not enough to just read your Bible and oh, I'm gonna pray and read my Bible and I have faith. Everything will work out. No, you have to apply everything that's written in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, the Bible says that I need to rule my spirit. I really need to work on that. Oh, the Bible says that I need to be set apart. Man, I really need to work on that. The Bible says that I need to take care of my house and work out my own salvation and not help a sinner or I'm going to receive twice the evil. When you truly believe the word and you have faith like Noah, what did he do? He moved with fear and prepared an ark to the saving of his house. And for brothers, I know this is a how would you say, controversial topic for some, but to me, it's not controversial at all. It doesn't bother me whatsoever when brothers say certain things against it or you know, to me, preparing just like Joseph did, there was 7 years of famine.
Mm-hmm.
There was 7 years of plenty, then 7 years of famine. And guess what he did? He stored up crops.
We coming in at 7 years now. Yeah, better be mindful.
Calm. And 7 years is just a number of completion. You don't know how long it's going to be.
Exactly.
You got Christians, even Israelites. I had a brother reach out to me and say, yeah, Jacob's trouble is going to be 7 years. It starts on this date and it ends on this date. And I was like, brother, nobody knows the day and hour,
At all.
right? Yahweh Shai said, only my Father in heaven, not the angels, nobody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's besides the point. So it says, oh, go ahead and read the whole thing one more time.
Come. By faith, Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by thee which he condemned the world, and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith.
By the which he condemned the world. And we don't condemn people. We don't say, you're not going to make it to the kingdom. We're not the Most High. We don't have that judge. We're not Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. We do not have judgment in our hands. But we can say this. If you're a friend of the world, you're a what?
You're an enemy of the Most High.
You're an enemy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Thus saith Yahweh.
So are you going to make it as an enemy of Yahweh? Of course not. His enemies are going to be destroyed.
Man.
They're going to be condemned. So Noah, in this verse, it says, by the which he condemned the world, right? When you see sinners, you have to understand they're going to be condemned of their own wickedness if they do not repent, right? If they do not repent, they will be condemned by their own evil, by their own sin, by their own wickedness. And then it says, and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. But of course, it says he prepared an ark to the saving of his house. Acts 11 and 16, it said that the word of the Most High can save you and your house.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what you focus on first and foremost, and you help those that are sincerely striving to follow Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Right? So with that, give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Most High willing, this reaches at least one person, because like it says in Luke 15:10, all the angels in heaven rejoice when one sinner repents. So, like we say all the time, the Most High is not a God of numbers, or he would have just made everybody to make it to the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
He could have just been, okay, you know what? Everybody's going to be righteous. I'm going to make everybody straight. But no, as we read in the scriptures in Ecclesiastes 1 and 7, or chapter 1 and 15, and then verse 7, I believe 13, it says, you cannot make straight what Yahweh made crooked. Right? Elena C, Sister Lahama, Khan, all praise to the Most High. And Khan, I'm going to save the lesson or the live as always. So with that, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Hope y'all stay in the spirit. And tomorrow's Wednesday. So yeah, tomorrow we're gonna do a live on the on Jezebel. Oh, Jezebel.
Better watch out.
On Jezebel, because man, that spirit is everywhere in these last days. But yeah, y'all stay in the spirit until then, and keep giving your body as a reasonable sacrifice to the Most High. Shalom.